In a valley nestled between ancient, whispering mountains, lived Puku and Pyuki. They were not people, nor animals in the way we usually imagine, but simple, gentle spirits of the valley, representing the quiet, enduring aspects of life itself. Puku was grounded, practical, with a sturdy heart that cherished routine and stability. He spent his days tending to the valley's bountiful berry bushes, ensuring every shoot was strong, every berry plump. He believed in the visible, the tangible, and the comfort of predictable patterns. Pyuki, on the other hand, was light-hearted, curious, and endlessly optimistic. She loved to wander, to explore the highest peaks and the deepest caves, always seeking out new paths, new songs the wind might carry. She believed in the unseen, the potential, and the magic of trying something new. Their lives were idyllic. Puku's careful tending yielded abundant harvests, and Pyuki's explorations often led to discoveries of sparkling springs or sun-drenched clearings. Perfect for resting, they were a perfect balance. Puku's roots held them firm. Pyuki's wings lifted their spirits. Then came the great shadow. Not a cloud, but a long, slow period of scarcity. The sky grew distant, the rains ceased, and the once lush valley began to wither. Puku was devastated. He worked harder than ever, trying to coax life from the parched earth. But his efforts felt futile. The bushes are dying, Pyuki, he'd lament, his voice heavy with despair. The old ways are failing us. We must conserve what little we have left, for winter will surely consume us. He focused on the dwindling resources, on the bitter reality of loss. His sturdy heart felt like it was crumbling with the dry soil. Pyuki watched him, her bright spirit dimmed but not broken. But Puku, she'd say, perhaps the old ways must fail for new ones to emerge. Look, the sun still shines. There must be a way. She started to climb higher up the mountains, further than Puku dared to venture in his grief. She brought back strange, resilient seeds she found clinging to rock faces, and suggested they try planting them in different soil, in different ways. Puku, exhausted and fearful, would shake his head. These are not our berries. Pyuki, these lands are barren. We must focus on survival, not on fanciful dreams. He saw her efforts as a waste of precious energy, an indulgence in false hope. Their gentle harmony began to fray. Puku grew resigned, seeing only the inevitable end. Pyuki grew restless, feeling the pull to do something, anything, even if it seemed illogical. One day, Pyuki returned from a grueling climb, her small body tired but her eyes gleaming. Puku, I found it, a small, hidden spring, high above the valley. The water is scarce, but it's there. And these seeds, I planted one by the spring, and a tiny sprout has already emerged. Quote, Puku looked at her, then at the desolate valley around them. He'd been so focused on what they were losing, he hadn't dared to look for what could be found. His practical mind immediately sparked. A spring? How do we bring the water down? How do we gather more seeds? It's a long way, Pyuki, and we are weak. This was the turning point. Pyuki, full of renewed energy, replied, we carry it, drop by drop if we must. And we find more seeds. And maybe, just maybe, if we nurture this new life, it will sustain us until the rains return, or until we find another way. Together, they began the arduous task. Puku, with his strength and systematic nature, devised a way to slowly channel trickles of water, stone by painstaking stone, down towards a small patch of less parched earth. Pyuki, with her unwavering optimism and adventurous spirit, continued to scale the heights, finding more of the hardy, drought-resistant seeds. It was slow, it was hard, there were days of doubt and exhaustion. But Puku saw the tiny sprouts take root, saw the precious water making a difference. He learned that sometimes, the practical path isn't just about preserving the known, but about building foundations for the unknown. Pyuki learned that even the grandest dreams need a sturdy hand to make them real. A systematic mind to turn vision into reality. Slowly, painstakingly, a new kind of garden began to bloom in their valley, not the lush, familiar berry bushes of old, but hardy, resilient plants, drawing life from a new source, nurtured by a blend of pragmatism and hope. The great shadow eventually receded. The rains returned, gentler and more thoughtful than before. The old berry bushes, though scarred, began to recover, but Puku and Pyuki were changed. Puku still tended his bushes, but he also kept a careful eye on the high spring. understanding that life often requires looking beyond the immediate horizon. He learned that true strength isn't just in holding on, but in knowing when to adapt, when to build something new from the ground up, even when fear whispers against it. Puki still explored, but now she also helped Puku build stronger channels, understanding that even the most wondrous discoveries need careful tending to flourish. She learned that optimism isn't just about wishing for the best, but about having the courage to plant a seed in barren soil and then diligently watering it. Their story became a quiet legend in the valley. It taught that life, in its infinite wisdom, often presents us with great shadows, not to break us, but to teach us the forgotten strengths within ourselves and within each other. It showed that true resilience is born when the pragmatic heart learns to embrace the hopeful spirit, and when the hopeful spirit learns to value the grounded hand. For in life's hardest lessons, we often discover our most profound growth, building new gardens in unexpected places.